Hi, I'm Estrella. Before we continue, I just want to mention that 97.8% of the people watching our videos aren't subscribed. So if you enjoy our stories, please take a second to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us keep making more videos for you. The last 3 years of living with my stepmom, Diane, had been like walking on eggshells. Dad married her after Mom moved across the country for work, leaving me caught in the middle of their new, perfect family that included Diane's daughter, Zoe. Estrella, have you seen my pearl earrings? Diane's voice carried from the hallway, sharp and accusatory. I looked up from my homework. No, I haven't touched your stuff. She appeared in my doorway, arms crossed. They were on my dresser yesterday and now they're gone. Maybe ask Zoe? She was showing off some pearl earrings to her friends yesterday. Diane's eyes narrowed. My daughter knows better than to take things without asking. Unlike me, right? I muttered. What was that? Nothing. I have to finish this assignment. Dad walked in, his presence immediately diffusing the tension. Everything okay in here? Fine, Diane smiled, her entire demeanor shifting. Just girl talk. Estrella, Dad said. Don't forget we need to pick up your corsage tomorrow. Diane's smile tightened. I could have handled that, Richard. You're so busy with work. It's no problem. I want to be involved in Estrella's big day. How sweet, Diane replied, voice honeyed but eyes cold. Family first, right? Dad glanced between us, clearly sensing the tension, but, as usual, choosing to ignore it. I'm going to grab dinner. Chinese sound good? Perfect, I said quickly. I was thinking we could have that chicken casserole I prepared, Diane interjected. It's already in the fridge. Dad hesitated. Oh, I didn't know. Maybe tomorrow night? Whatever you want, dear, Diane said with a tight smile. Once Dad left the room, she turned to me. You know, Estrella, it would be nice if you tried a little harder with family meals. Zoe always appreciates my cooking. I didn't know about the casserole, I protested. And Chinese is Dad's favorite. Yes, well, you always seem to know exactly what your father wants, don't you? Her voice was honey-sweet, but the accusation was clear. Must be nice to have been here first. She walked away before I could respond. This was classic Diane, making comments that seemed innocent but were designed to make me feel like an intruder in my own home, like I was somehow manipulating Dad against her, when all I wanted was to maintain my relationship with him. Later that evening, my best friend Maya called about our senior ball preparations. My dress is literally perfect, I told her, excitement bubbling in my voice as I closed my bedroom door. Dad helped me pick it out last weekend when Diane and Zoe were visiting her mother. Send me another pic, Maya squealed. Is it still that amazing blue one? Yeah, it's hanging in my closet. Dad said it reminded him of Mom's prom dress. Careful mentioning your mom around the stepmonster, Maya warned. I know. Diane went totally silent when Dad said that. Then she started talking about how Zoe's dress was designer. Speaking of the devil, Maya whispered dramatically. How's she been lately? The usual passive-aggressive comments, taking Dad's attention whenever possible. Nothing new. Remember when she accidentally deleted your college application essay from the family computer? Maya asked. How could I forget? Dad had to call the admissions office to get an extension. Of course, Diane just said I should have saved a backup copy. She's the worst, Maya declared. But hey, tomorrow's going to be amazing. We'll look stunning, dance all night, and forget all about evil stepmoms. I just want one perfect night, I sighed. Senior ball is supposed to be special, you know? Mom missed my junior prom because of her new job, and now she can't make it to this either. At least Dad's excited for me. And he got you that gorgeous dress. It seriously looks like something from a fairy tale. It was the only one that made me feel beautiful, I admitted. When I tried it on, Dad got all teary-eyed, said I looked just like Mom on their first date. No wonder Diane hates it, Maya snorted. She's been making these little comments all week. How blue isn't really my color, how the style is a bit young, how Zoe's dress is so much more sophisticated. Classic jealousy, Maya said. Just ignore her and focus on having an amazing time tomorrow. Connor is going to die when he sees you in that dress. My other line beeped. That's my dad calling. Probably about dinner. Talk tomorrow? The day before the ball arrived with a flurry of activity. I'd just finished my hair and makeup trial with Maya when Dad texted that he had to work late. Perfect timing, I told Maya as we walked into my empty house. Let's try everything together. Dress, shoes, jewelry. I opened my closet door and froze. The sapphire blue gown, the one we'd searched 5 stores to find, hung there with a jagged tear running from the bodice down to the hip. What happened? Maya whispered, reaching out to touch the frayed edges. The front door opened, and Diane walked in with Zoe. Their eyes widened with false surprise when they saw us standing there. Oh dear, Diane said, her voice dripping with insincerity. What happened to your dress? You tell me, I managed, tears filling my eyes. Zoe smirked. Maybe it couldn't handle your size. That's enough, Zoe, Diane said without conviction before turning to me. These cheap dresses fall apart so easily. You should have invested in quality like we did for Zoe. As tears spilled down my cheeks, I caught Diane's reflection in my mirror. The slight upward curve of her lips revealed everything. Satisfaction, triumph, malice. Maya grabbed my phone and snapped photos of the dress, then whispered, "Don't let them see you break down completely." But it was too late. I collapsed onto my bed, sobbing as 3 years of subtle cruelty culminated in this deliberate act of sabotage. I'll call my mom, Maya said firmly. She's an attorney, remember? This isn't right, Estrella. Through my tears, I saw Diane's smile falter slightly at Maya's words. Don't be dramatic, Diane said. It's just a dress. No, I replied, suddenly finding my voice. It's not just a dress. She definitely did it, Maya insisted the next morning as we sat in her kitchen. Her mother, Mrs. Chen, listened intently, taking notes. You're sure about this, Estrella? Mrs. Chen asked, her professional demeanor calming my frayed nerves. Positive. She was smiling while I cried, and I heard her and Zoe laughing about it later. My dad helped me pick out the dress and paid for it. About $300, I explained. Maya scrolled through her phone. I have pictures from when we first bought it. Plus, I recorded Zoe's cruel comments and Diane dismissing it. Mrs. Chen raised her eyebrows. Smart thinking, Maya. The ball is tonight and I have nothing to wear, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. First, we document everything, Mrs. Chen said. Then we talk to your father. We drove to my house where Dad was working in the garage. Diane's car was gone. Dad, I called, my voice shaking. We need to talk about my dress. Someone destroyed it. His face fell. What do you mean destroyed it? Mrs. Chen stepped forward. Mr. Garcia, I believe your wife intentionally damaged Estrella's property. Dad's face hardened. That's a serious accusation. We have proof, I said, showing him the photos and playing the recording. Dad's face grew increasingly pale. I paid for that dress. We spent all day finding the perfect one. This isn't the first time she's done things to hurt me, I continued. Remember my missing art portfolio? My water-damaged laptop? The necklace from Mom that disappeared? Dad sat heavily on a stool. Why didn't you tell me? I tried, but you always said I was overreacting or needed to try harder with Diane. Before Dad could respond, a car door slammed outside. Diane walked in, freezing when she saw us all gathered in the garage. What's going on here? She demanded. Dad stood up. Did you destroy Estrella's dress? Diane's face immediately shifted to innocent confusion. Of course not. Why would I do that? We have proof, I said firmly. Where were you yesterday afternoon? Dad asked. Shopping with Zoe, Diane replied, a slight hesitation in her voice. Perfect, Mrs. Chen smiled. Store security cameras can verify that. For the first time, I saw fear flash across Diane's face. That evening, instead of attending the senior ball, I sat in our living room with Dad, Mrs. Chen, and Officer Lopez from the local police department. Diane sat stiffly across from us, her lawyer, hastily called, beside her. Let's be clear, Dad began, his voice unnaturally calm. I've seen the evidence. The dress was intact yesterday morning when I left for work. The only people with access to the house were you Zoe and Estrella. This is absurd, Diane huffed. You're taking the word of a teenager over your wife? I'm taking the evidence over your denial, Dad replied. The credit card statements show you were at the mall at 2:15, not noon like you claimed. The security camera at our front door shows you returning home at 3:20, right when Estrella was at her hair appointment. You've been spying on me? Diane's voice rose incredulously. No, just checking facts, Dad replied evenly. Diane turned to her lawyer. This is ridiculous. They can't possibly build a case on such flimsy evidence. Actually, Officer Lopez interjected, we have several pieces of compelling evidence, Mrs. Garcia. Like what? Diane challenged. Well, for starters, there's the matter of the scissors from your sewing kit that were found in your daughter's room with blue threads matching the dress. Material, he replied, consulting his notepad. Diane paled slightly. Zoe was working on a school project. Those threads could be from anything. Mom, Zoe whispered urgently. They're bluffing. They didn't find— Quiet, Zoe, Diane hissed. Diane's lawyer leaned over to whisper something, but she brushed him off. Fine, maybe I was home. That doesn't mean I touched her dress. I pulled out my phone. Zoe posted this on her private Instagram yesterday. I played a video where Zoe filmed Diane holding scissors near my closet, both of them giggling. The caption read, Stepmommy dearest taking care of business. # no senior ball for you. The color drained from Diane's face. That's not— We were just joking around. With scissors in my room? I asked. Near my dress? That video doesn't prove anything, Diane's lawyer interjected. It doesn't show any actual damage being done. But it establishes intent, Mrs. Chen countered. Combined with the timing, the physical evidence, and the subsequent comments made to Estrella, it creates a compelling case. Do you realize how serious this is? Officer Lopez interjected. We have video evidence of premeditated property destruction, followed by emotional distress inflicted on a minor. A minor? Diane scoffed. She's practically an adult. I'm 17, I said quietly. Still legally a minor. You've always been jealous of my relationship with Dad, I continued, finding courage I didn't know I had. You've sabotaged my school projects, hidden my things, and now you've ruined something that was important to me, something my father and I chose together. You're being dramatic, Diane snapped. It was just a stupid dress. That cost $300, Dad interjected. That I paid for. I'll pay for it then, Diane shouted. Is that what this is about? Money? No, I said quietly. It's about you smiling while I cried. It's about 3 years of you trying to push me out of my own home. What about all those nights I cooked dinner for you? Helped with your homework? Drove you to school? Diane countered, her voice rising. You did those things when Dad was watching, I replied. When he wasn't around, you barely acknowledged my existence unless it was to criticize me. That's not true. You called my English teacher to say I was having emotional problems right before my presentation, I said. You told the coach I wasn't team material when I tried out for volleyball. You conveniently forgot to tell me about college information night. I was trying to protect you from failure, Diane argued, her voice softening as she turned to Dad. Richard, you know how sensitive she is. I was just looking out for her best interests. By destroying her dress for the senior ball? Dad asked incredulously. I didn't, Diane started, then stopped abruptly. Then why did you text Zoe yesterday afternoon saying, and I quote, mission accomplished, she'll be devastated? Officer Lopez asked, reading from his notes. Zoe gasped. You said they wouldn't check our phones. Zoe, Diane snapped. I didn't know it was going to turn into this huge thing, Zoe cried. You said it was just a prank, that she'd get over it. Then why did you tell my teachers at conference night that I was troubled because of my parents' divorce? Why did you cancel my birthday party last year, claiming I was grounded when Dad was on his business trip? Officer Lopez cleared his throat. Mrs. Garcia, destruction of property valued over $250 is criminal mischief, a Class A misdemeanor in this state, combined with the documented pattern of harassment. Harassment? Are you kidding me? I've done everything for this family. Dad shook his head. You've done everything to create the appearance of a perfect family while systematically undermining my daughter. Richard, please. Diane's voice softened dramatically. I'm sorry if Estrella felt targeted. Maybe I was a little jealous of your relationship with her. We can work this out. No, Dad said firmly. We can't. Estrella. Diane turned to me, eyes suddenly wet with tears. I'm so sorry about the dress. I wasn't thinking clearly. We can go buy another one right now, an even better one. I looked at her tearful face, remembering how she had smiled at my distress just yesterday. No, thank you. Please, she begged. Don't do this to our family. You did this, I replied, and I want to press charges. Diane's face twisted with rage. You ungrateful little... She lunged toward me, but Officer Lopez stepped between us. Mrs. Garcia, he said sternly, I'm going to have to ask you to step outside. 3 months later, Maya hugged me tight outside the courthouse. Guilty on all charges, justice served. Restitution, community service, and a restraining order, I confirmed, relief washing over me. It's finally over. Dad joined us, looking years younger now that the trial was done. We'd moved to a small apartment near my school after he filed for divorce. For the first time in years, home felt peaceful. As we headed to the parking lot, Diane called out behind us. Estrella, please wait! I turned to see her hurrying toward us, ignoring her lawyer's protests. I just want to apologize, she pleaded. I never meant for things to go this far. I studied her tearful face, the same face that had smiled while watching me break down over my ruined dress. You had 3 years to be a decent stepmother, I replied calmly. You chose differently every day. People make mistakes, she argued. Families forgive each other. You're not my family, I stated simply. You never tried to be. Walking away from her felt like freedom. The summer sun warmed my face as Dad squeezed my shoulder. I'm proud of you, Estrella, he said. Standing up for yourself took real courage. Ready for freshman orientation next week? Maya asked as we reached the car. Absolutely, I smiled. New beginnings? I might have missed my senior ball, but I'd gained something far more valuable, my self-respect and a father who finally saw the truth. Hey, viewers. Was I right to press charges against my stepmom, or should I have given her another chance? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like mine.